Welcome to the Rated Gen Z podcast series. How's it going
Thank
today?
you. It's going great. How is your day?
Good. We know life happens, so life is lifing today, but it's all good.
No, that's so real.
Yes, absolutely. I'm still, just to tell you how real it is. I went to a 6:30 a.m. Pilates class wearing this, and
Oh,
and it's 3 o'clock my time, and I'm still wearing the same
no, that's so weird. We
thing.
all have days like that. Like,
A
we're
lot has
done.
happened. My day did not go the way that it was, expecting for it to go, but it's all good. Um, and for you, you're in Texas, right?
Yes, I'm from
Okay.
Texas.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, Siri, I love for my guests to go ahead and intro themselves.
Okay, well, hi. My name is Siri. I am 18 years old. I'm from Coppell, Texas, and I am the founder of Smiles Through Art, which is an organization that aims to bring awareness about art therapy to children's hospitals.
I love the fact that it's art therapy because I myself am an artist. My mom is an artist. I come from a very artistic background. And for me, I know what it does for my mental well-being. So I would love to hear how that even came about for you.
Yeah, sure. So I've always been an art kid. I love art. I'm kind of known as the artist in my family because
Okay.
every time we have some sort of event or anything, I always make some cards, some painting to give to a relative or to a friend. So I've always loved art and I really felt it was kind of a way to like escape days.
Hmm.
Like some days if I'm having a holiday, I really like to bring out my sketchbook and start drawing something, even if it's just for 5 minutes. So I've also been really passionate about healthcare,
Okay.
and that's always been one of my interests, like service and all that. So I really wanted to use my passion in a way to help people. So it was like the summer of, I believe, 2024. I was volunteering at my local children's hospital, and I was bringing out like an activity cart with all these like art supplies in them. And I mean, I saw a lot of games and all that, but a lot of kids asked for like coloring books, sticker books, all that. But I realized there wasn't really a lot of that on the cards, and I couldn't really give it to them. And I mean, it just made me feel sad for them because art is such a great way to escape, and I really think that everyone should have access to it. So that's kind of how Smiles Through Art came. I really wanted to connect my passion of art to pediatric hospitals because I think mental health is important, but I think it's really underestimated in children specifically going through diseases more than is with adults. So I definitely wanted to bring more awareness to that.
That's fantastic. I've had so many conversations as of late around the arts and music with mental health and your generation. And, you know, o- obviously there's been music and arts for around for centuries, but I think it's the first time that I see a generation really talking about how important it has been for their mental well-being, like playing an instrument, doing art. I think for so long, people just kind of equated it as to like a fun activity or something you do as a hobby. And you just kind of like, oh, if we're going to have it in the schools, every time you have music class or art class, it's always like, oh my God, this is like when I get to kind of escape like the science, history, if I'm not into that, or
Right.
math, and I get to do something creative and I get to really use a part of my brain that I don't get to use in other classes. And I think people are underestimating the power of what it does. And I love that you guys are very vocal about it because I feel like we are not taking it as seriously as we should with like cutting, all the funding from schools. Like that's the first thing that goes
Right.
is music and art.
Yes. Yeah, like I've seen it like in my district specifically, like well a lot of us like we're having budget issues in our district, like as of
Hmm.
Coppell ISD. And I know like I like am in a couple art classes and I noticed that a lot of supplies that we need or some other students need aren't as available anymore because they're allocating funds somewhere else. And I think it's mainly due to the fact that, like as you said, art isn't as taken seriously as it should be,
Hmm.
which is like why I was really like into like serving this cause.
Yeah, no, I think the more of you that are vocal about it and talk about it and really share what it's doing for all of you, I think that's really important because we can't ignore your voices. We really can't, especially with like social media and everything. And so I love to be able to be kind of back up. It's like almost like we're doing research here, by having these
Yes,
conversations with all of you. Like I get to back it up and be like, hey, I have had, 150 plus conversations with this generation, and I can tell you what art and music has done for them. Like it's like data. So
right.
please like share for you. And obviously we don't have to get into anything like specific when it comes to your mental health, but like, are you someone that does struggle every now and then, and that's why art is so important for you? Because I really would like to touch upon like how it actually helps you.
Yes, yes, sure. So, I think it was mainly, I mean, I've always loved art. I think it was mainly during COVID because if anyone knows me, I'm a really social person. So
Mm,
I
me
love
too.
around people, making new friends. But COVID was just a really hard time because we just went for spring break and then we never came back. So,
I didn't even think about it because
right.
it was around March. You're right.
Yeah, so it was really like hard for me to cope because I think every day after spring break was over, I was like, so when are we going back to school? Like when do I get to see my friends
Yeah.
again? So that was like really a difficult time for me. And I really like went to art for that because I had a lot of with myself. So our entire house for the longest time was just covered with canvases of my artwork because we didn't have anywhere to put them.
Yeah.
So I'd say like that was a really hard time. And then definitely transitioning. So in Coppell, we have a ninth grade center and a main high school. So definitely like going between those two campuses was kind of difficult for me,
Mm.
mainly because it was like a new setting, new teachers. It was just a big change for me. And I definitely spent a lot of time on my art back then as well. Like definitely doing like pottery, mixed media. That was definitely a bit more difficult time for me. And like it really like pushed me more into art because I was able to find like kind of who I was in my space during that time.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I tell people for me, art, I am, which is ironic because I talk a lot and have podcasts, but when it comes to sharing my feelings and my emotions, it's really difficult for me.
mhm.
Um, I just like even today when we put down my mom's dog and I was with her, like it's not easy for me to cry when I should cry. And so something like that, maybe in the moment I had to hold it together because my mom was the one that was really upset. So like I had to be kind of the rock, right? So then what happens is I hold it all in, but then when I do the art, like I'm able to just kind of like let it out in a way where I'm not necessarily like crying or being emotional, but I'm translating it on the canvas. And I'm very much like an abstract painter for that
Hmm.
reason.
Hmm.
Because I have to like whew, somehow just let it go. And
Yeah.
it's for me, that's like what it does.
Yeah, that's kind of similar for me too, because it's just like there's no boundaries when it comes to art. You
Yeah.
can do whatever you want. And that like to me it's like it's not restricting my freedom anywhere. I can just express how I want to. So I was like art is a really great escape for me. And I really wanted to show that to like pediatric patients because they're always stuck in a hospital room without really
Yeah.
any way of escaping. And I saw that when I was volunteering on several shifts. So it was just like really important to me to bring my voice out there and show how much art can really like impact a kid's life.
Yeah. So, are you a senior this year?
Yes, I'm a senior.
Okay.
I'll be
So,
graduating in
okay. So,
May.
do you know we're going to be going to school next year in the
Yes,
fall?
I
Or
actually
not
recently
skier, but
committed. I actually recently committed to UTD, University
okay.
of Texas at Dallas.
Dallas.
So
Okay.
it's like a
Congrats.
20-minute drive. Thank you. 20-minute drive from my house. So I'll be close.
Okay. Are you going to be living on campus or are you going to be commuting?
I will be living on campus.
Okay,
I'll
good.
just,
I'm glad
yeah.
to hear that because yeah, I think I had a conversation like this, and I think it might have been someone in Texas that was thinking about doing something like a UT that was closer, but they were going to live on campus. And I think it's
Mhm.
so important because I had roommates that lived off campus, and I really feel like they missed out a lot on the college experience, by
Yeah.
commuting. So I'm glad to hear that. Do you know what your major is?
Yes, I'm doing neuroscience.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it because of everything that you're doing, you realize
Hmm.
that it has,
Yes.
really
Yeah,
affects
because
the brain?
yes, because I really wanted to find like the scientific connection between it, and I've already met with some UTD professors, and they were really interested. So I'm really looking forward to doing that starting this fall.
Yeah, I think there's already pretty good research around what the brain, like what it does to the brain, because now you can have all these, scans of the brain like in real time while you're drawing and you're doing things,
Mhm.
and they're finding like these fascinating ways of how your brain is functioning and it's like all positive, right? So I love that you're going to continue to do that work so
Oh.
that hopefully one day, arts and music will be taken really seriously
Mhm.
in the schools. Do you have like any other favorite subjects in school besides, art and like science? Is there any other kind of
Uh,
things
I
that you enjoy?
I really like all subjects, but I don't really have a favorite other than science. I would say I really like English,
Okay.
mainly because like it kind of like I want to say like more human side of things. Like we read a lot of books in English, like for like AP, IB exams, and they kind of go over topics about like mental health and all that. And I think it's really cool seeing like an outside perspective that's not like science based.
Okay. Yeah, I watch a lot of podcasts, and
Mhm.
one of my favorites is Mel Robbins, and she's constantly having experts, and she always has neuroscientists on, and it's just I like obsess over just hearing, everything that happens in the brain. I feel like that's such a new kind of thing that we're exploring, where the brain really obviously there were scientists and researchers and neuroscientists, but it's like the education piece of it and the information wasn't getting out to the masses like it is now. And
Mhm.
now that it is, I find that your generation is really wanting to go into neuroscience because like I feel like it's a newer path, I think, for a lot of you.
Mhm. Yeah, I've been seeing that too. Like a lot of people
Yeah.
in my school are going into neuroscience. I think it's like mainly because like the brain has so many different aspects that aren't really discovered yet.
Yeah.
And like that's what most about the brain because there's so much like it might just connect to art therapy in a way or anything, which it's just really cool to think about.
Yeah, I also wonder too if you guys have this like self-awareness already at yet such a young age and you already see like how social media has affected your mental well-being and your brain. And so I'm wondering if like you guys are just realizing that you want answers as to why
Mhm.
all this is occurring, like why we're so obsessed with like comparing ourselves to other people, why we're so obsessed with like um this like voyeuristic kind of world that we live in. I'm wondering if that's like a big reason too, is yeah, you guys want answers.
Yeah, we just there's so much uncertainty and there's like
Yeah.
if we can find answers, I think especially our generation, I think we're really like we're not into like like the unknown. We really want to know what is happening.
Yeah, like you guys aren't okay with being like, well, that's just the way it is.
Hmm.
Or like
Yeah, I know I'm not.
yeah.
So
No, I find that the majority of all of you are very much like, no, we want to know why, and we want to, and also like, we're not going to accept certain things, like just because it's been happening like this way for decades or centuries. Like, we're not going to go ahead and accept that. That was the most random thing. I've never had that experience on my phone. Did you hear that? It was
oh
like this like weird dinging.
no.
That was weird.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, woo, okay. But yeah, like I find that you guys aren't going to just sit by and allow things to just happen because that's how they've been happening for all this time. It's like you guys are like, no, we want to make a difference and we want to change things. And I love that about all of you because there's this sense of like, which I want to ask you because this is
Mhm.
something that I just read because it's almost like you guys don't care, but at the same time, like you don't care what other people think, but at the same time you care so much
Mhm.
um, that I feel like there's this weird thing of finding things you don't want to sound cringy, you don't want to look cringe, you
Mhm.
really don't want to like portray yourselves on social media in a certain way because you're scared of like how maybe there might be backlash with what you say or what you post or this whole cancel culture. So there's like that aspect of it, but then there's an aspect of like no, we're going to say what we think and we're just going to put ourselves out there. So I wonder if, like, do you have any kind of opinion on that or perspective on what's happening?
So I am not a big social media person.
Okay,
I stay off of it as much as I can,
good
mainly
for
because
you.
yeah, I like doing things like where I see people in real life.
Okay,
So for me, like I got social media really recently because I was going to use it for Smiles Through Art.
okay.
Um, I don't know. I really don't. have an opinion on it. Like I know people are really strong about like they want to be like seen in a way on social media,
Yeah.
in a way that like kind of conforms to like what they want others to see them as. But there's also some people that are like, well, I mean, they don't care because they don't know who's looking at them, like who's like on their Instagram feed. They don't really care about that.
Yeah.
I know like there's people who like have like two sides of the argument. I really don't have a side to that because I kind of see both ways, but in a way I'm kind of leaning towards the side of I don't really care if people see me on social media, mainly because
Okay.
I don't know who's on the other side of it. So for me, it's like I take kind of take everything with a grain of salt. That's
Yeah.
kind of how I see it. But I know people who are really like adamant about like they want to be seen a certain way just so they could like not be seen differently than like what's normal or considered normal. But
Yeah.
that's kind of my take on it.
Which unfortunately, I feel like that's what really affects your mental health because
Yeah.
if you're not getting to be your true self and put yourself out there and like as who you are, then you're really kind of putting up a front and you're living this life that's really not authentic or you. Like that can put a toll on someone. Like I know for me, I was starting to feel that when I started kind of putting myself out there more, especially on LinkedIn, and I was like considered as someone that had a following over there and everything. It's like you kind of get caught up in this world of like, okay, I need to kind of also put myself out there in a certain way. And then
Yeah.
you realize it's exhausting and it's like hard to maintain that, and it does take a toll. But I do, yeah, but I do find like there's just this weird like extreme on one side and
Hmm.
extreme on the other.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah. I think that's what's like your generation's really struggling with is like this every day of like, you guys are going to make mistakes. You're going to make choices that might be the best choices. Like, shoot, as an adult, clearly I am still, dealing with that in my everyday life. But when I was younger, I didn't have anybody that could pull out a phone and I mean, in this situation, like there was no phones involved. It was more of just
Hmm.
me being able to hear. But now it's taken to the next level with all of that, with all of you. And like, how do we even find a solution to something like that? We don't. So then it's like, how do we help you guys kind of manage it in a way where it doesn't overtake your mental health into like
Hmm.
to a place where you don't want to go out, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to be say anything, you don't want to be who you are because you're just afraid of like what people are going to think.
Right. Yeah. I think that's just something like we all deal with at some point in life. And I like it just makes me so sad. There's not really a solution to that. That's like
No.
the one thing you really can't solve because like everyone acts a certain way. It's like you can't con like make everyone do something like for a solution. Like
Yeah,
that.
like we're all
Yeah.
human, and so that's where, like, even with neuroscience, with what you're doing, like, how do you even go into neuroscience and then like try to figure out how, like,
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's why maybe like me going into this like field, maybe I can find some answers.
yeah, because I feel like it's yeah, it's just taking a toll on a lot of people, and it's
Hmm.
unfortunate. So then okay, so you're gonna go off in the fall off to college.
Hmm.
Are you like really excited? Are you a little bit anxious? Is there a little bit of fear? Like what kind of feelings are you?
I'm so excited.
Okay.
I'm so because I've like lived here my entire life. So I'm so excited to meet new people, go somewhere new. I'm like especially with Small Store, I've already been connecting with people at UTD and I'm already like we're already starting a chapter there. We're already going to start expanding there and that's like something I'm really excited for because it's actually been one of my like year-long dreams or
Okay.
goals to start expanding the nonprofit. So I'm honestly really excited because it's something new. Like it's like college is a first for everyone. So everyone's going to be like experiencing something new and it's just we can all come together as a community. So
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, and you're gonna make friends for life. Like I'm still
Yes.
really close to my roommate my freshman year and my junior. We ended up living together again our junior year. And then one of my sorority sisters, who I actually met before we became sorority sisters, we met I think on the first day that we moved in. I'm gonna see her next weekend. We're gonna go to Stagecoach
Oh,
together.
wow.
So yeah, these are lifelong friends. I think that's like what I'm really excited for you too, because you're gonna meet people you have no idea like that you're gonna meet
Yeah.
yet, and that these are gonna be like bridesmaids in your wedding,
Hmm.
like
Yes.
yeah, that's really exciting for you as well. Do you have really close friends in high school that you know that you'll stay in touch with when you go to college? Because that's a difficult thing too.
Yes, I have a couple friends. I've known them since like first grade.
Okay.
Where I'm gonna be keeping in touch with them for sure. We're not going to the same school, but 100% going to keep in touch. And I have a lot of friends who are already going to where I'm going for the fall. So I know I'm going to keep in touch with everyone there. But yeah, I'm excited to make new relationships, new friends.
Yeah. This is something that I found with your generation too, that a lot of you are really at like excited too about like being part of like campus clubs, like school clubs and being involved in different organizations. I was not, like none of my friends were like, we did not get involved in that way, but I have found that your generation like really wants to take advantage of what
Hmm.
these schools have to offer. Are you
Hmm.
like that? Like you're gonna look
Yes.
forward to doing stuff on campus?
Yes. I've already been researching. Like there's a few clubs that I already know I want to join. And I mean, I've already reached to professors. Like I want to make kind of my own mark on campus, which is
Okay.
kind of why I'm putting Smiles Through Art in college, like as a college chapter.
Yeah.
So I'm just like excited because I'm doing pre-medicine, so I want to do medical school in the future.
Okay.
And like I've already been seeing like pre-med groups, and I'm so excited to connect with new people and start volunteering, campus events. I'm beyond excited.
Good for you. I That's something that, I wish I would have been a little bit more involved in. I was in a sorority, and sororities, do take a lot of your time. But at the same time, I feel like I should have taken advantage more of like campus clubs, like for
Hmm.
sure. But
Hmm.
I love that you guys are. I wonder why is that? Why are you guys like so invested on like doing like the like local clubs? Is it because you have this kind of idea around I got to take advantage of this opportunity because
Mm,
I don't know. I don't know
yeah.
what it is, but I feel like you guys are definitely taking advantage of it.
I don't know. For me, I just want to meet new people. So I guess kind of in a way, because I think like meeting new people like also in college also means kind of like networking in a way.
Yeah.
So I definitely do think it has something to do with that. But I also just like I want to try out different things. Some things like I can't do in high school, I really want to try out in college.
Yeah. Well, that's
Hmm.
good. At least you recognize how important networking is.
Yes.
Because that's something that I think a lot of older generations think that you guys don't know how to network because of
Hmm.
COVID and you guys were so isolated.
Hmm.
But I have found that a lot of you see like the importance of it and the value in it and are doing your best to
Hmm.
network. So yeah, I guess that makes sense that those were be the best ways to network
Right.
in those
Yeah.
clubs. Yeah, because again, your connections, they always say it's
Hmm.
like it's, what not what you know, or it's who you know, and your network is your net worth. And I didn't,
Yeah.
now I totally get it. And so when I
Hmm.
hear you guys wanting to network, I'm like, yes, like it's so important. And
Right.
be
Hmm.
intentional about it.
Hmm.
Because that's another thing too, is I wasn't intentional about it for a really long time. And then now I'm like, okay, now I understand what it means to like have intention
Right.
behind. Yeah. Because I'm assuming like the follow up, like when you meet someone and then you
Hmm.
connect and then you like follow up and then you're like, hey, let's meet up for coffee or like let's get on a call and let's see how we can
Hmm.
help one another. Like there's like a
Right.
whole process.
Yes, yes.
I'm
Yes.
assuming that you're aware of like,
Hmm.
of the process.
Definitely. Yes. I think like everything I've really like done throughout the years, especially like through high school, like a lot of like my teachers have also been guiding me, and like they also like really stress the importance about like following up, sending a little thank you note, and just like to maintain those connections. So I think ever since COVID, I think our generation has been like starting to learn
Mhm.
how like important it is to like maintain those connections over the years.
Yeah, maintain them and then like not burn bridges either. Like that's another thing that I
Hmm.
have learned and is if you get a job and you move on to another job, like always make sure that you maintain a good relationship with your past employer. Like you never want to leave something in a way where like, yeah, is that bridge is burnt. Because I will tell you, a lot of times the careers that you're in, it's a very small world, and you'd be surprised how
Right.
many people
Mm-hmm.
knows somebody that can then go back to
Yes.
like, hey, I know this person and they said this about you and I heard about this about you. And
Mm-hmm.
that happened to me the other day too, is that someone reached out to me knowing that I was connected with someone,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, hey, I'll connect you, but I'll just let you know that my experience was not the best with this
Mm-hmm.
person. They kind of dropped the ball on something when they had a
Right.
commitment with me, and they dropped the ball, and my connection was like, never mind. And that person has
Mm-hmm.
no idea that I basically like
Like didn't give them a
it
connection.
didn't give them a connection because of the way that they
Right. Yeah, I've
dealt with
kind of
like our situation.
yeah, I've kind of been like I kind of understand the importance of that now, mainly because I've had a job for the past, I want to say 3 years now.
Okay.
And since I'm going off to college, I have to unfortunately leave my job.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I'm all, like always trying to stay in touch with her because my manager's been so amazing to me,
Yeah.
and like it is a small world, so I want to like keep in touch with her, like just in case. So I've been kind of learning about that on the way.
Good. Yeah. I mean,
So.
it is something like no one ever really taught me it. I had to kind of learn it on my own. And yeah, there's
Hmm.
there's moments where it was a tough lesson to learn.
Hmm.
Sometimes where I'm like, ooh, okay, that wasn't the best thing that I did. And oh, I wanted to be non-confrontational. So I just kind of dropped off and kind of ghost the person, the employee. You know what I mean? Like but a long time ago, I've
Hmm.
been really
Yeah.
good. Let's just say I learned my lessons very quickly. I
Okay.
learned through experience. So if something happens and I learn right away, like that experience was not a good experience, it was negative, like I can automatically be like, okay, I've learned it, moving on, I'm going to do better next
Hmm.
time. Some people don't
Hmm.
learn that way. I do. So, yeah, unfortunately, I didn't do things, the right way sometimes.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think
but
like learning from experience is always like the best way. Like I feel like for me, like that's definitely how I learn.
yeah,
It's like once I do something and I know how it's done, I'm like, okay, like what could I do better? Like
yeah.
how could I change something to make it different from last time?
Yeah, and that's part of the process, and
Hmm.
it's gonna continue to happen. I all the time that's happening in my world too. Uh, but that's where we have to give each other grace. We have to show ourselves grace, like all of those things. And that's why it does worry me when it comes to social media and just with everything being out there that people are so quick to judge and so
Hmm.
quick to automatically judge your character by one thing that might actually have been out of context too. Like
Right.
that's the issue too, is things can be put out of context, things can be edited a certain way, and then you have AI. And so I can see how there's a lot of pressure there to want to act perfectly all the time and to never
Hmm.
make a mistake and to never do anything wrong. But like you cannot live life that way. Like, I'm sorry, nobody,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
impossible.
Hmm. Yeah. It's like nobody's perfect. So
Nobody's perfect.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so that's yeah, so hopefully we can have all of you neuroscientists
Yes.
come up with like maybe like cool ways for us to like, nourish our brain in a way where we don't get so caught up in all of that.
Hmm.
That's the hope. I don't know. But
Yeah.
are there any other like things that you're doing that you want to share? Anything that you want us to
Um,
know?
let's see. Maybe I can talk a bit more about like a recent thing we did with our nonprofit. It kind of
Yeah.
ties to what we were talking about.
Okay, would love to hear.
Um, Recently, like December, like of last year, 2025, we actually launched our web app for hospitals to use because hospitals have a lot of contamination policies. So a lot of them can't accept like hand donations, like the art supplies we're kind of talking about earlier. A lot of hospitals can't really accept those. So we created our app Simply Art, which has all of the art tutorials, art challenges, and we have our coloring book on there for healthcare providers to like they're able just to print it out and just give it to the kids. That way, they're not in contact and their health is prioritized and safe. And it was kind of a long process to get this like up and running, mainly because there's like that email process that I think a lot of people in my generation now use, like cold emailing is the term we're using now. So
It's been a term for a while, I will say that.
yes, it's been a term for a while,
But
but I
you
mean
guys are
like
actually using it.
we're actually using it
You guys
now,
are
which
cold
is
emailing people.
yeah, we're
Interesting. Okay,
yes.
did not know that. Okay, go
We're
on.
all we're all cold emailing people. Like me and my team, we all cold emailed like 50 hospitals for our app. And I mean, it was a long process because we got a lot of like denials or like
Yeah.
not a lot of people responded. But I mean, so far we got 10 hospitals around like the US and then some in Canada who've also responded. So I've like at least like for me, we've received like a lot of doubts about the app project mainly because like I'm not a coder. I cannot
Mm.
do anything with a computer. I can be kind of described like my friends kind of describe me as like an old granny who doesn't know how to use a computer, which is really bad. But
Okay,
I'm
well
not
that's
really
good to
tech
know because
savvy.
I had a colleague of mine and she was like, "Can I ask you a question?" She's like, "My daughter, she's, Gen Z, she goes, she doesn't know how to use a computer." She's like,
Hmm.
"Is there anybody else that you talk to?" And I said, "As of now, I haven't spoken to anyone that doesn't know how to use a computer. Now I can tell her
Yeah,
she
I am not very
like
tech savvy.
doesn't really know how to use a computer." Okay,
No,
that'll make her feel
I'm
better.
no, I am not very tech savvy. It's a problem. I'm trying to
Okay.
get it fixed. But yeah, so there's been a lot of doubts about like how are we actually gonna code this thing and that we've been receiving like a lot of not as nice comments about maybe like the production of our app. And then when we finally got it started, it kind of just like hard work does go a long way.
Yeah.
Like we just chose not to like we took that we chose not to listen to the negative comments
So
in a
do you
way,
have
and
when
it
you
just
were like
shows.
coders are like because I've had a lot of people on my podcasts that are coders already and have created apps like so are they expecting you guys to figure out how to code this app and make this app? Like is that what they're saying? Like you guys should be
Yeah,
smart enough to know how to create an
hmm
app?
pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I mean,
That's
like,
very
it was
presumptuous.
right. So I mean, that's what I said, but I was like, I just took it as like, okay, let me just try, because
Hmm.
I really wanted to bring this idea because like I'm like from Texas, I can't really like travel everywhere as of now. Like I want like our initiative to go like across the globe. So like I just like this was a great way to at least get it started because with the app it's just they have a link and it's accessible to everyone. It's
Hmm.
free. It's really easy to use. So, I mean, that's why like I got a lot of help from my friends. Like my brother, he's a computer science major at the college I'm going to next
Oh,
year.
okay.
So I
Nice.
got like a lot of help from him, a lot of help from my friends, like all the testers of the app, and then we finally got it after a year. So it just like it took a lot of hard work, but then we got there. So it just shows like if you put in the effort, you could get things done.
That's interesting because, like, people my age, like, basically they're hiring out people to create apps for them, and here your generation's expected to have to do it themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
It's
but you
kind of
guys
funny.
did it. Good for you.
Yeah.
Is the app like available yet?
Yes, yes. It's on our we're primarily using Instagram for our social media.
Okay,
It's on there. It's in our like description.
gotcha.
And we've sent it to hospitals. Like I think the biggest hospital, this is like I was like really shocked when we got an email from them saying to take it. It's Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario. It's like one of like the number one
So in
children's
Canada,
hospitals. Yeah, it was really cool to hear from them and saying like how they will start implementing like their app into their child life art therapy programs, which I mean for me just showed that if even one person is just impacted, like it
yeah.
really just shows that this is all worth it. Like it doesn't have to be a million people. It could just be one person.
Yeah. And I mean, I have to say right now, I mean, the US and healthcare is just a nightmare. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that
So
it took another country to be interested,
yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And all it takes
Thank
is,
you.
like you said, one yes, and then,
Yes.
go from there. Good for you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, like have you had like interactions with these patients at these hospitals? Like, do you get to go in
Um,
there and interact with them or no?
so I volunteered at Children's Health in Dallas
Okay,
and also UT Southwestern. We like patient contact was minimal for us, mainly because we were volunteers, we don't have medical training.
gotcha.
But I was kind of lucky because my volunteering role was like holding the activity cart, and all the children get to come out and they get to pick what they want.
Okay.
So I got like a lot of experience with them, and then I kind of like asked them what was the one thing they really wanted but they couldn't have, and it was art. They couldn't have art anywhere mainly because of contamination and
Yeah,
also uh funding. So that really like showed me like this app could really do something.
yeah.
And so like once we got it kind of set up and stuff, I think back in January we went to Children's Health again to give some supplies for donation. And then they're actually telling us like, hey, this app is amazing. Like it's one of like the best things that's happened in a while, mainly because so many people or so many children get to use this app at their own comfort and the tutorials were so easy and the cost was there was no cost to it. And it was just it really made my day because it showed like it this is actually doing something.
Oh my
So
God.
it was just amazing to see.
Is the app also named Smiles Through Art?
It's named Simply Art.
Oh, Simply Art. Okay, I'm gonna have to
Hmm.
check it out. I'm just curious.
Yes, you can check it out. It's in our description on Instagram. It's a
Okay.
link. You can check it out. We're actually starting to like update it a bit more with more like videos
Yeah.
and art challenges and another coloring book on there because we've been like in high demand. So we really wanted to make it a bit more like more options for kids to use. So
Yeah.
we're excited. It's next phase.
Oh my gosh. It's incredible what you guys can do. Oh my gosh. Like, wow. Good for you.
Thank you.
I mean, honestly, you guys are just doing what you can to try to give back and do better. Like, I just think it's so wonderful. And I feel like, so many people just assume that your generation just want to be like TikTok influencers, and that's
Hmm.
not the case. Every time I
Yeah.
talk to so many of you, I'm like, see, look at what they actually want to do and what they are doing. And so you're just proving my point again. I love
Oh.
it. Well, Siri, is there any last parting words before we close out?
No, just thank you so much for the opportunity. This was so much fun.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so glad that you were able to come on, and I love that we have a mutual friend in Sanvi, so that's
Hmm.
always fun too.
Yes.
But yeah, thanks again.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a good day.
You too.